Great to have your company once again on NBL Now, a very special edition of NBL Now this time around. For the Red Army, you are absolutely going to love our chat today because Kristian Doolittle, I'm pleased to report, is not suffering a season-ending injury, is going to be ready to go for the start of the NBL season. We've got that and a whole lot to get to on the show today. And he joins us from Puerto Rico. Kristian, welcome. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I'm sure that this probably came across your desk from the other side of the world, but there were some tweets doing the rounds about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, that you'd suffered a season-ending injury. Just tell the Red Army that you're going to be okay.
Yeah, I'm okay. I heard about the report, and it was crazy because when I heard about it, I was literally walking around. So I received a lot of phone calls that day. I made a lot of people nervous that day, but I'm all good.
So am I right in saying it was an ankle issue as opposed to an Achilles?
Yeah, I had we were doing like our shoot around in preparation for our opponent one day, a game next day, and I kind of just made a false step, and I went down, and so I ended up getting an MRI done, and I had zero. There was nothing wrong with me. So I just had to wait for the swelling to go down, and so I essentially sprained my ankle.
Thought it was very important that I asked that question first because Perth fans would love to hear that, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about Puerto Rico, where you are right now, first and foremost. You're sitting on the balcony. There's a nice view. This would be your sixth season, if I'm right, of going back to Puerto Rico?
Yes, sir. This is my 6th year. This is where I started. And so I pay homage to the success that I've been able to have to my career by coming back to where it all started. I'm on a different team now, but the league out here I love, and the environment I love as well, and I feel like this league out here is steadily growing as well, just because it's a shorter season, but it's good basketball too, though.
I think you're not the only one that's worked this out. There's a lot of NBL guys, past and also present, that are in the league this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been nice seeing some of the people that I play against in the NBL. Some nicer than others. Well, for all in all, it's been pretty good to be able to see. For basketball, it can be the way that I see a lot of people. I have friends who I haven't seen in years, but they come out here and play, and so it's nice to be able to catch up with people.
How do you go from a body perspective? I mean, this is what you do professionally, and this is how you support your family, is to play basketball and earn money. You mentioned that you don't really take time off. So how do you try and keep your body fresh 12 months of the year?
I feel like it's just into the preparation that I put. With my workouts, I try to pace myself while also understanding that I still have another full season to go. So it can get tough because I'm very competitive, and I tend to go hard, and I can be almost like my own worst enemy because I love to play basketball, and I'm not thinking of down the line, but I give everything that I have every single time on the court, regardless of who I'm playing for. But I feel like with how I eat and how I take care of my body with, treatment and recovery and everything like that, it's the only way that I'm able to still keep going.
You spoke about some of the NBL familiar faces that you've crossed paths with over the course of this Puerto Rican season. Have you crossed paths with Bryce at any stage?
Yeah, I've only played against him once. The other times my team has faced he's been out, but I've been able to catch up with him. There's other imports that have been out here that are going to be in the NBL as well. So, like I said, with having relationships with these people through playing basketball, it's not as knives out as it is when we're in Australia. And so it's nice to be able to catch up with people and see them in a different light.
Can you, without labouring the point too much, but I mean, it's been the biggest story of the off-season. I'm sure even from where you are, you would be well aware of how big the story of Bryce going to Adelaide is. Do Do you remember where you were? Do you remember your reaction when you heard that Bryce would be playing for the 36ers?
Well, my wife had found out. I didn't know. I'm kind of someone who lives metaphorically under a rock, to where I don't necessarily pay attention to social media, and so I didn't know. Whenever it happened, I had received a lot of phone calls and text messages, but I feel like I didn't necessarily react as strongly as everybody else will. I mean, obviously for one of the most decorated players in Australia to switch teams is going to be big news. But I look at it as a standpoint to where now I gotta, I know he's a competitor and I'm a competitor as well, and so I'm just looking forward to be able to play against him.
Yeah, so let's talk about you. I mean, it's not something that we see every day, if I'm being honest, Kristian, where we have imports re-sign on multi-year deals. As you would well know, basketball is very transient. People go all over the world, but you've committed to the Perth Wildcats on a multi-year deal. Just tell us why you made that decision.
I feel like it's due to the point of my career to where I've been from one country a year. I've gone from all over the world, and from those experiences, I've been able to see good and the bad, and understanding that when you have something good, the grass isn't always green on the other side. With how I played, I'm pretty sure I could have gone somewhere that probably was paying me a little bit more, or a higher stature or something like that, to where people believe someone of my caliber should be. But Perth has welcomed me with open arms ever since I left France. Essentially taking a chance on me, and giving me an opportunity to continue to play basketball. And with JR, we signed in as well, and new management, and just how they've taken care of myself and my family. It was almost a no-brainer for me to want to stay there as long as I could.
Do you feel, I guess, a greater responsibility now? Like, some people are suggesting that you're the new face of the Perth Wildcats. Do you feel that?
I mean, I I don't necessarily feel like I'm the face of the Perth Wildcats. I understand where they're making the connection to. But I feel like I've taken on a greater responsibility. Not only I feel like what I'm doing now is bigger than myself. Understanding that with Bryce gone, when him being there for the past 9 years, and him being the type of player that he was for them, I know that we're shifting into a new era. And so with me signing this long-term deal, and I plan on picking up on the success that I had last year, but ultimately I just want to win a championship. And I feel like my goals of winning championship align with Perth as well. And so, everybody is focused on the championship.
One teammate that I want to ask you about, Kristian, is Dylan Windler, who you obviously played with last year. There are a couple of games where Dylan exploded, and then he had some issues with his body, particularly at the start of the season. What should we expect from Dylan Windler in season number 2?
I expect Dylan to play very well. I feel like, not to make this about myself, but from someone who spent a year and then came back, and it was, as you get more comfortable, things are gonna happen more naturally for you. And I feel like now that he's had that first season, he gotten that first season out of the way, I feel like he'll come back with an attacking mindset, especially because we're gonna require more from him. And I feel like he's also someone who likes to step up to the challenge. And so I'm excited to see what he's gonna do, because, like you said, he had big games, the big moments for us. We just got to try to make that for him. Try to find a way to make that an every game thing for him.
Do you think that's, I mean, you've been through it and you've experienced it. Do you think that that's important in this league as an import, is to come back for a second year, and having experienced the first year in the league and the way that it's officiated, the fans, the travel, all of that sort of stuff?
Yeah, it's definitely important, especially if it's tough being a first time import on one of the most predominant teams in the league, and so there's high expectations. Obviously, coming from the NBA, playing in the NBL, I'm sure he's used to expectations. But I definitely feel like he'll have a sense of relief whenever he gets back and is able to just seamlessly flow into things.
I know you said you live under a bit of a rock, but no doubt you're sort of keeping in touch with Perth and Danny Mills and John Riley about what's next. From a recruiting standpoint, Kristian, what do you think the Wildcats need next?
I mean, I don't think that's necessarily for me to decide. I have to give all the credit to Danny and JR. I feel like they've done a great job for the 2 years that I've been here in terms of putting a team together that's supposed to win the championship. Unfortunately, we finished in the semifinals both times, but I feel like it's a step in the right direction in terms of building the consistency to where we're always a championship contender. I feel like I've never constructed a team before, and so I have complete faith in them and being able to determine what we need or what our strengths and weaknesses are to try to put a team together around me.
Well, if you're the face of the franchise now, can't you just go full LeBron and just put together the team that you want?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been somebody who's kind of been placed in a position of power, not because that I seek it, but because I naturally fit into that role, and so because of that, I don't abuse power. Just because I try to not only make a situation better for myself, but I try to make it the best for everybody else around me. Because from the times that I have won championships, that's the only way that it can happen.
Tell us about playing at RAC Arena, the Perth fandom. You've had 2 years of it now. You've got a lot of experience all around the world. What is a home game at RAC Arena in front of a packed Red Army? What's that like for you as one of the stars of the team?
It's great. The energy in that place is unmatched. We by far have the best home court advantage in the NBL. And whenever we're rocking and rolling, and things are going smooth for us, there's nothing like it. Seeing everybody into the game, cheering and cheering. So it's amazing. And even when we had to not play in the RSC that one game, and we had a condensed court, we still felt the same energy, if not more. Playing against who's that? Melbourne.
Southeast Melbourne?
Yeah, Southeast Melbourne. So, in any game, and so I love playing at Perth in the home court and being cheered on by our fans.
What does preparations look like for you? You're in the middle of the season or coming towards the back end of the season. You're kind of almost 500 as a team in Puerto Rico. As soon as you finish, what does it look like between now and the start of the NBL season?
Depending upon whenever I finish here, I might have a couple of days at home and then I'll fly straight over.
So do you take a holiday at all, ever?
No.
Unbelievable. And that traveling aspect of being on the road all of the time with family, does it kind of feel like you're all on this journey together, you and your family?
Yeah, it definitely takes, a team effort to make this work. I appreciate what my wife has done to, accommodate the ever-changing lifestyle. It's not easy, we're having to pack up, especially now that we have a 1-year-old with us, trying to make a place a home for the, 5-6 months that we're there, and then go home and then, see family, try to get him to see everywhere to be able to see our son, and then fly to Australia for 9 months. And so I feel like for as challenging and difficult as this lifestyle can bring, I feel like we've done the absolute best that we could.
Just before I let you go, in the last couple of weeks, the Perth Wildcats have unveiled a brand new look, new logo, new imagery. Have you had a chance to check it out?
I'm waiting on the package to get here right now so I can to try on some gear. So I got some clothes on the way.
Kristian, thanks so much for your time. Before you go, for those who are going to watch this interview on YouTube rather than listen to it, can you just give us a little bit of a look at the view that you're sitting out from at the moment on your balcony? Is it nice?
Oh, oh, yeah. Oh, I guess I just got to turn my camera around.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice.
I can see why you keep going back there. Hey, mate, thank you so much for your time. I know the time difference is challenging, particularly with a 1-year-old. So we appreciate your time, and I know the Red Army is so excited to see you back there this season. So we can't wait to see you in Australia soon.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.